till you find your way back home.
Hello and welcome back to our YouTube channel. We decided that if we were going to come back, we'd come back with a bang. And what better way than to come back interviewing the world's strongest man, Tom Stoltman. Tom, how are you doing, mate? Thanks for doing this today.
No problem. Thank you for having me on. Yeah, I'm great. The sun is shining finally in the Highlands, and I feel great. You know, a positive week, and yeah, I'm still on a high. So
I don't know how we're not meant to be nervous when we're interviewing that man mountain. It's incredible. Tom, you've won the world's strongest man. We're all incredibly proud of you. We saw you with your Union Jack flag on as well. The media have started to cover you. We'd like to sort of cover it and go through what it took, what it means to you, how you got there. So essentially run us through it. What was it the first, how do you become a world's strongest man? What was the first thing that made you interested in it, and talk us through the sacrifices?
yeah, so obviously when I was younger as well, I used to watch Strongman. So basically, I always played football. Football was my life. Obviously, I've got a brother that does Strongman as well, and it was Luke that got me into football. As soon as I could move, walk, everything, it was football. I was tennis balls, anything that was a ball shaped, I would just play with. You know, like I would do any kind of ball sports, tennis, football. But football was my life, you know. And then obviously he got me into kind of, you know, playing at a decent level. But yeah, I didn't know anything about weights, didn't know anything about strongman, didn't know about any other sport. All I knew about was football. You know, football was a massive, massive sport on TV. I used to watch it and everything. And then there was just one day when I was maybe about 10, 11. Luke was about 18 by then. He had sat down and was watching these guys on TV with their tops off, going mental, lifting some mental stuff. And I was like, what? This is like what you see on cartoons, like Superman lifting up lorries and Superman like, you know, smashing towns and stuff. So I was like, these guys aren't superhuman, and how is this physically possible? Sorry, to do. And I got intrigued. You know, at a young age, I got intrigued, and I just kind of wanted to kind of be like big. Obviously, Luke had been to the gym before me and stuff, and he was a bit bigger than me, and that kind of inspired me. But then after that, so I kind of, you know, watched the strongman. He played a lot of football and stuff, and was really kind of a fit guy, you know. I mean, I got called the Scottish Peter Crouch because I was that lanky and tiny, but yeah, I was so fit and kind of, yeah, just kind of. So it wasn't until about 15, 16 before I actually seriously started the gym. I just started with kind of a few of my mates at my local kind of gym, and I went with them. You know, just starting the t-shirt muscles, you know, wanting to get a bit bigger for girls, wanting to get a bit more confident. And all I kind of did was chest and arms, and left all the other kind of harder parts that, you know, would get sore the next day. And then they all kind of went away to uni and like on their own ventures and stuff. And I didn't have anything really then. I just, you know, stopped playing football, stopped kind of going to the gym, stopped just having a social life, and locked myself in my room because I didn't really know anybody. And then that was the moment Luke said, "Oh, come to the gym with me." You know, so I went, and I hated every minute of it, to be honest with you. You know, Luke, you know, I got pushed like I was a professional athlete then. You know, obviously I wasn't with my friends anymore, so I had to do the legs, I had to do the back, he was already following like a bodybuilding routine, so he was all into it already. And I mean, going to college the next day with DOMS was not a good thing. You know, it was I was sore every day. I felt I couldn't function properly. You know, my body was just always broken. I was never recovering. By the time I went back into the gym, I was still broken, and it was just that kind of vicious cycle. But I don't know why I stuck to it. That's the thing. I don't know if it was a buzz or eventually I seen my body change, and I loved, you know, seeing like abs, seeing a bit of bulk on my chest and stuff. And that kind of was like a drug to me. It got addicted. So I was like, you know, like you said, you get more attention from the girls. People start seeing you because I'm taller as well. I kind of fill out more. So they were like, geez, Tom, you're getting bigger. And I think when people started seeing the progress I was making, that's when I was like, right, I'm going to stick this out. So, I mean, Luke threw me into the deep end at 18 years old. I was already doing my first Scotland Strongest Man competition. So I was like, maybe a year into training, and he was like, "Oh, surprise, you're going to Scotland's strongest man." I was like, "Oh, thanks very much," you know. So yeah, I got through the qualifier, ended up coming 5th in Scotland at 18, and then I was like, right, you know, I can do this, you know, I can make something out of this. And I just kept going, you know, I just kept on following Luke's advice, kept just trying to follow his footsteps, started moving to like a strongman gym and just started getting like seriously into it. But yeah, Luke was the kind of main person that got me into the fitness world and, you know, showed me all the ropes and everything.
This is, do you know what? I was worried about how this interview was going to go. This is the best interview that I've done so far because I've got like 12 questions written down so far that you've completely answered that I don't now have to ask. And it's so much better when someone knows how to talk. You wouldn't believe it, Tom, the amount of footballers that we've interviewed, ex-Rangers players, that we ask them a question like, talk to us about your career. Oh, it went great. Okay, yeah, but more than that, I mean, come on. So you mentioned Dom's delayed onset muscular soreness. How much does that affect you now? Is it, for me personally, when I go, I still get it every time because I'm not going 5-6 times a week. I'm trying to drag myself there 3 times a week at the moment. During COVID, I said I'd be going every day. I'm not. Does Dom still affect you? Do you still get that?
For the novice of like the group, sorry, what is Dom's?
Yeah, so
do you know what, Tom? You can explain.
It's the soreness you get on the muscles the next day. It's delayed, like a delayed soreness, you know. So you don't get it straight after the gym. You wake up the next day and you feel like you've been hit by a bus, you know. So it's the delay. That's why it's called delayed onset. So yeah, but going back to the question, yeah, obviously, I still get it. You know, it's for me, it's like I'm a professional athlete and I train at like 100% every session. So of course I'm going to get DOMs. You know, I'm pushing, like I'm deadlifting, you know, like 1 week I'm maybe doing 300 for reps. The next week it could be heavier. The next week after could be, you know, something different. So I'm always, my body's always doing different things. And yeah, I'm always getting sore, you know. I mean, I'm doing 4 or 5 hour sessions of strongman, you know, every weekend, and my body's battered the next day for like 3 or 4 days. But you just have to, like, it's most important is recovery, and that's what I say to everyone. Recovery is what wins you the competitions. It's not the training, it's the recovery and how you look after your body.
And does that put an end to the argument then? No matter how big you are, no matter how long you've been doing it for, you still suffer the same effects as those that have had their, you know, first year, second year?
Yeah, that's what I say. Like, if you're not feeling kind of the soreness the next day, you're not working hard enough. Like if you're going in, you know, and say, "Oh, I'm going to train arms tonight," but you know, some people saying when they train arms, they maybe do 2 exercises, go out the gym. Yeah, I mean, nobody's ever going to feel it through that, you know. But when you train, you need to do like 4 or 5 exercises, a lot of kind of the slow reps, and really feel your, you know, muscles working. And then the next day, you need to wake up and feel like, yeah, my arms are sore. So yeah.
What's your schedule like a week, like in the gym?
It's I mean, it's Monday. So on Monday I do deadlift and back day. Tuesday is like an upper body day, so it's kind of push press, all the shoulder exercises, and then Wednesday's a active recovery day, which is basically, so I do conditioning in the morning, then I do physio, then I go for walks, and at night that's what it's called, active recovery, just to get the blood flow again back in the body and stuff. And then Thursday I do legs, and then Friday is the strongman session. So that's a session that I do, like, for example, 5 events, 6 events in like 4 or 5 hours. So that's like a whole day thing. That would be starting at 11 a.m., finishing at 5, 6 p.m. So.
Wow. What type of events is that?
Sorry?
What type of events is that on the Friday?
It just depends on what competition we do, you know. So like, obviously, run up to World's Strongest Man, we had, I think it was 15 different events. So we had to then, you know, do like 6 events a weekend, but rotate them all the time. So you've got like, you know, deadlifts, squats, atlas stones, log press, carrying yokes on your back, running with frames, finger fingers, these big fingers you have to lift up and chuck over, keg toss. So yeah, there's a lot of events.
Tom, you mentioned that I've just written down your schedule there because it's interested me. Thursday you do legs, and then after doing legs, the next day you do strongman.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird, you know. That's when I've got a coach. When I first seen that, I was like, okay, then, you know, like this is not very nice, you know, because my worst DOMs is my legs. That's what I feel it the most. I don't know what I think. It's maybe because of my height and you know, I just that I always wake up on event day feeling like I've got hit by a bus. But for me, what it trying to kind of cross over is that's how you feel at a competition. You never ever feel 100% kind of like on a second day or the third day of a competition. And World's Strongest Man is a 5-day comp, so like you could have squats in your second day, then you might have to go and do 3 events the next day. So if you can only like log press or squat or deadlift on when you're fresh, you're never going to kind of be good on like the days you're fatigued. So that's kind of the thinking behind it. You know, I'm doing like, I think it's like a 2-hour leg session on the Thursday, and then for me it's automatically I need to recover hard. So like in my brain I need to go, right, I'm finished the gym, I've still got to go do recovery, and the harder I recover, the easier it is for me to kind of be that, you know, for the next day to wake up and feel fresher. So.
And you obviously mentioned that rest is equally as important, if not even more so important. When you talk about rest, do you take a couple of naps a day as well as a full night's sleep, trying to get 8 hours? What is your sleeping regime? How does that work for you to maximize your potential?
Yeah, so I mean, I'll do recovery because the recovery, like I said, that's where you win the competitions in my eyes. I mean, I've been bad in the years not to do any recovery. You know, being young, I thought, oh, I'd get off with it, and yeah, that's not good at all. I mean, so I do a lot of, I maybe have about 2 naps a day, but no longer than 20 minutes. If you go like past 20, 30 minutes, you start feeling that kind of, you know, you can't get up. It's harder to kind of get out of bed. You just want to stay in bed. So I tend to not go over half an hour. So yeah, max an hour naps. And then I have like, I mean, I'm really good at sleeping at night. So I'll go to bed at 10, 11 p.m. and get up at 9 a.m. with no disturbed sleep. So my sleep is very good. But I do a lot of hot and cold treatment. That's for me the best thing you can do for recovery and mental, get your mental kind of like health sorted and like get that stress off you. Hot and cold is like the game changer for me this year. So
is that like ice baths and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So it's ice baths. So yeah, ice baths, and then like a sauna or a hot shower or hot, anything you got kind of that's cold and hot. So.
Blair, you're fucking wicked, mate. I love you.
I'm still novice at this. I'm like, I'm not stayed in the gym in like a year, so.
Oh man, that's brilliant. So I was watching in one of the, I think, World's Strongest Man contenders, winners, and people that you can't really be into fitness without knowing. Eddie Hall. I was watching one of his YouTube videos, I think it was yesterday, and he was eating his diet that he was consuming when he was a strongman. And he amassed 13,600 plus calories a day. What's your diet, Tom? Starting off with, how many calories do you try and go for?
Yeah, so I have 2 lots. So basically when I'm peaking up for a competition, so when I'm at like, you know, that kind of last few weeks, that's up to 13,000. Then when I'm kind of finished a competition and drop back down and, you know, have onto my next phase, it'll go down to maintenance level, which is 9,000. So I think it's still high, but I'm usually on 9,000 for a lot of time. That 13,000 high-end ones only for the last week and a half, because you can't do that. You know, you can't eat that much food for a long period of time. You know, your body would just react so badly to that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's a massive kind of jump. It takes 9,000 to 13,000.
9,000 calories just to maintain. Am I hearing that? 9,000 calories.
What's that equivalent? What type of things do you eat during the day then?
Yeah, so again, so my breakfast is a staple. My breakfast is like 10 eggs. This is all on my YouTube as well, so it's none of this made up. So yeah, 10 eggs, 2 bits of sausage, 2 bacon, and then like 4 bits of sourdough bread. That's just one meal. And then I have like a snack. A snack can be like a protein shake or kind of any kind of form of protein with like a punnet of fruit, or I have like say 40 strawberries I need to have, or 2 punnets of grapes, or whatever, you know, whatever fruit it is. And then lunch is usually 400 grams of meat, so any meat I want, plus 400 grams of rice, or 2 big jacket potatoes, and then veg. And then that's the same as dinner. And then the meal in between. So the meal in between is a snack is a burger and chips, but that's counted as a snack. That's the gym. That's the meal before the gym. So that's the meal that kind of gets all the calories in and helps me lift in the gym. But yeah, that's counted as a snack.
Your Asda shop must be insane.
Blair, have you ever gone to a restaurant and ordered your favourite snack, a burger and chips? Bloody hell. So even your breakfast is 10 eggs, 2 sausages, 2 bacon, 2 sourdough. A protein shake for you could include up to 40 strawberries, 2 pallets of grapes.
I have a protein shake plus. I have that. So my protein shakes will be 3 scoops of protein plus then like 40 strawberries, whatever, blueberries. Yeah. So whatever I get the calculations are. So yeah.
And the protein that you put in there, what is it? Is it? I'm going to assume it's not lean definition. It's heavy bulk.
Yeah. So it's like 35 grams a scoop. So yeah, it's a lot. It's like whey protein. So it's around about 90 grams of protein, 100 grams of protein.
Just the last thing about the diet, because it genuinely is something that I think will interest a lot of people. Just, do you have a rough estimation, I think, knowing your macros, about grams of protein that you need to consume a day? So you've got your calories. How many grams of protein is there an amount that you need to maintain?
To be honest with you, my nutritionist doesn't do any of that kind of stuff. He just says that your body can't do maths. So he kind of just tells me to eat until I'm full, or don't ever force it to feed myself. I have a nutritionist called Nathan Payton. He's won 6 months strongest man title, so he's the best nutritionist in the game. But like, he always just question answers on Instagram, Facebook, and he goes, people go, "Oh, how can you tell the macros, or how can you tell this?" He's like, "Well, I don't." He works out the insulin sensitivity of your body, and he judges it by that. So that means like if you're eating so much junk food, your like insulin sensitivity can get right at the top, and you can kind of feel dizzy, you feel kind of lethargic and stuff, you feel crap. So he then like gets that to a balance, and once you get that perfect insulin sensitivity, then you can control the body like that. I mean, I don't know much about it, but he is an absolute genius at this stuff. And yeah, I didn't believe it worked at first, but obviously it does. But yeah, he says to me the body doesn't do maths. So, that's a truth. The body can't do maths. So I never ever do any of that kind of macro stuff for nothing anymore. So,
but to put it into context, there's a guy at work who's like completely ripped, huge. He's the size that that I could just never be. He eats 3,500 calories a day. Tom eats 9,000 to maintain, and 13,000 a week before a competition. I can't even imagine that. Like, right, okay, moving on. Obviously, I think you mentioned something about you were lanky, Peter Crouch. Did you say?
Yeah, like a Scottish Peter Crouch, basically. Yeah.
You were lanky.
Yeah, like really lanky. Yeah, like really bad. Yeah.
So that shows you how much I knew, because one of the questions I had written down was just to touch on the fact that you're 6'7", aren't you? 6'7"?
6'8", yeah, 6'8", yeah.
6'8", oh, sorry. 6'8", missed an inch. So you're 6'8". The question was going to be, were you always obviously a bit of a bigger, thicker build, but then I'd assume not. My understanding was, for that body type, if you are tall, if you are leaning on the sort of verging on lanky, I thought it was actually a lot harder for you to put on muscle mass.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, like the first kind of, because I went to the gym with my mates and stuff at the start, like I said, but that was like, I was non-existent in muscle. I was going for months and months and months, and like they were like 6'1", 6'2", and within 2 or 3 months you could see a bit of definition, size. They were doing everything right, and I wasn't doing anything. I couldn't put any weight on the back. I couldn't put any weight on myself. I had such a high metabolism, so anything I ate, I was just burning off, and I had to go to like an uncomfortable zone where I was eating loads of food and just not enjoying it. And then even in the gym, I was trying to even like 40k, 50k on the bench. It was so hard, and yeah, everything felt. I was like, my long levers, I'm never going to be able to get so strong. But yeah, I just kept on believing. It was as I said, it was a day when people said to me, "Oh, your chest has got a bit more defined now. You can see a vein in your bicep." And we're like, "Yeah, it's my first vein." It's like your first thing that I have, isn't it? It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So as soon as people, because people see the difference before you see it, and like even when they were seeing the bicep vein, I wasn't seeing nothing. I was like, are these guys just doing this to make me happy, or and yeah, but I was seriously kind of skinny. I mean, I didn't have any kind of bulk on me. I was just like, I know I had abs and stuff, but I was skinny, so obviously I'm going to have that. But yeah, it took me a really kind of long time to get nailed into it. I think the advantage with me is I had Luke to help me. Like he knew all the correct ways to train. He knew what foods were the best to kind of put the muscle on to help me with the strength and stuff. Whereas before that, with my mates, I was just eating like the kind of junk food, the stuff that just made you lethargic before you hit the gym and bloated and you felt kind of crap and stuff. Just because I was skinny and I thought, all right, if I eat junk food, I'm never going to get fat anyway, so it doesn't really matter what I do. But yeah, I was so wrong. What you put in your body is what you get out of it. So,
I'm also right in thinking this is something that actually this credit needs to go to Blair. That last year, I think it was last year, yourself and Luke were the first brothers to get to the finals of a World's Strongest Man Championship.
Yeah, so that was 2 years ago. Last year it was just me that got to the final, and then obviously this year as well. But yeah, so in 2019 we're the first brothers to ever get to the World's Strongest Man final.
That's incredible. Your family must be ridiculously proud of the both of you.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, like I said, we had a massive goal in that year to get to the final, and we both achieved it. And that's when the kind of Stoltman name in the strongman game and like in the strength world kind of took off. We were two brothers from a small place in Scotland and up in the Highlands, and that's never been seen before. It's like two siblings from the same family in the top 10 in the world. It was kind of mind-boggling for people. Yeah, but it was a really good feeling to kind of do that with Luke as well.
And you smashed it. We read up saying that we read up on the internet that I think Luke 2 weeks of a month he can't train or something like that because he's on the rigs.
Yeah, so he's actually full time now, which is about being full time for about a year. But back then he was working on the rigs. So he was like, I think his schedule was something crazy. Like he was 2 weeks at home, 3 weeks away or something. So he was only really getting to train a week and a half at a time. And then when you're on the rigs, you can't lift 300 plus K on the rigs, So yeah, it was a really kind of mental. It was mental to think that someone on the other rigs could get to the World's Strongest Man final. That's just mind-boggling because you don't have the right equipment. You're not in your own house. You're not in your own comforts. You're not eating the food you're used to. Not in your own bed. You're waking up 5 a.m. working till like 9, 10 at night. So it's to do that and working offshore is incredible.
So 2 nicknames. Number one, the Albatross. And Blair, what was the second one? Was it King of Stones?
King of the Stones, yeah.
King of the Stones. Albatross. So okay, I've taken a guess with Blair as to why you've got these nicknames. Albatross. What's that about? Because I couldn't find anything.
Yeah, when you Google Albatross, it looks like a big seagull in there.
Is that it? So I went with Albatross because Alba means Scotland.
All right, no. Well, basically, when I kind of first started the gym and stuff, because I was a bit more skinnier as well, when I did like the big like chest flies or any dumbbell work that would stretch my arms out, it was a wingspan, and the Albatross has got the biggest wingspan in the world when it's wings are out. So I've got one like the wings. I've got a wingspan like the Albatross, so that kind of just crossed over, So
I'm looking at a picture just now, and you're right, they're massive, so big.
Yeah,
huge. Yeah.
They're massive. Yeah. But I don't like to be known as a big seagull, to be honest.
Oh well, the second one was the King of the Stones. Is that due to your strongman activity?
Yeah, so, I mean, King of the Stones. That's just a name the fans and the kind of producers and that gave to me. I think I've not been beaten on the stone since 2018. So, I've lost a stone run since I think 2 years. So, I mean, they just kind of gave me that name, and it's kind of stuck since. It's a lot of pressure that when I lose one, I lose that title. But yeah, that was just one that the fans and the producers kind of gave me just to kind of spice things up a bit as well. So.
I noticed your brother's also called the Highland Oak. Is that just to do with his physique?
Yeah, I mean that's just. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger is Austrian Oak, so because we just thought, right, well, he's from the Highlands, you know, he's like built like an oak tree, so we just thought may as well just call him the Highland Oak. So yeah, that just was from that as well, the Arnold inspiration.
Boom. Lastly, just the last thing to do with the monumental achievement that you've done. Were you the world's strongest man? Do you? I'm not sure if you want to answer this. Actually, personally, do you feel that the media covered you enough straight away? Do you feel that the size of the achievement that you achieved, do you feel that you got the media coverage straight away, the support of Scotland?
This is a hard one because like before I even got off the plane, my missus had camera crews at the house, and I mean I know you don't see it all over the social media and that, but like I mean when I was flying, I was flying from LA to Heathrow, and as soon as I landed, I had 45 missed calls from 4-5 different good morning phoned me I think 36 times. So you know there was a lot of media, you know, I was getting pounded and pounded and pounded to do a lot of stuff. And
sorry about that.
No, it was. I mean, it's to me, it's not. It sounds a lot, but to be honest, like if I was a footballer and I won the like World Cup or the Golden Boot, I'd be everywhere. Like I'd probably be like in the like you know up with the bigger guys like Nike, Adidas, and all them kind of guys approaching me. But it's more when I say bigger, like when I say I get a lot of media coverage, there's a lot of guys in the Scotland, you know, like the up in the Highlands, we've got papers, maybe Reporting Scotland. I think I've been on the BBC, but there's Good Morning. I think Good Morning's been the biggest one, which still isn't big, if that makes sense. You know, that there should be more worldwide coverage, not just in the UK. I'm surprised that like the media, like in America, has not really picked up on it as much as usual, because I mean, Strongman in America, that's where it was based, that where it was, and you know, that's massive over there. Even like in other countries, like maybe Australia as well, you know, places like that. But yeah, it's been a hit and miss. I mean, for me, it feels busy, but like it's more kind of been like podcasts and interview with genuine people, you know. Like I kind of like that more, you know. I think a lot like I like to express myself on people that have kind of given back to me, and that's why like I like to go on like the Rangers stuff and the football stuff, and you know, I just do stuff for my local community, you know, and yeah, there should be a bit more coverage, but at the end of the day, it's Strongman, and it's never ever going to kind of be that kind of sport where it's going to be reaching to the top, but it is getting more and more. I mean, who's put it on the map in the UK is Eddie Hall in 2017 when he won it, and he's helped kind of. If Eddie Hall didn't win in that year, Strongman would be non-existent as we speak right now. It wouldn't matter if I won World Strongest Man. It would just been like, oh, Tom's World Strongest Man now. Who cares? You know, but Eddie has really saved. You know, he's put his documentary out. He's done that Discovery Channel. He's done Eddie Eats America. He's now doing boxing against Halford Bjornsson. So you know, Strongman's always in the kind of talks now. So yeah, he saved it, but there could be a bit more media. But you know, I'm not one of those guys that cares too much about the cameras. I mean, as long as I kind of keep working hard, things will come to me. So,
fair answer. I'm glad that is a reception that you got. By the way, 45 missed calls and the press at your house. That's really it's good. It's the way that it should be, because can any of them lift even so much as a third of the weight that you were carrying?
Yeah, it was nice. That's the thing that's nice, because when I came second last year, you know, there wasn't so much, you know, like, I mean, second at Worlds is still a big achievement, you know, and there wasn't really like, oh, I maybe had 5 or 6 interviews, but yeah, this year it's kind of like I thought it wouldn't be much of a difference between first and second, but I was shocked at how much kind of, when you have the title World's Strongest Man, how many people want like you on your show, and like, I mean, even up here, how like the council up here, our local council people, they want to do a lot for you as well. Whereas when I came second, you don't want to do anything really. So you know, it's a massive. It's a privilege, you know, because I worked hard for it, but it's weird how first and second is like 2 different levels, you know, where the second's still an immense achievement.
But as long as you've got the power to say no to the people that, you know, weren't particularly bothered before. Dude, one of the things that we're again, super proud of you for, as well as the achievement, as well as being the world's strongest man. By the way, that's actually really intimidating, the fact that I'm talking to the world's strongest man. It's like, no matter what, you're more manly than I am. You're 6'7", you're huge, you're world's strongest man, you've got great hair. You know, what can I do? You're also very, 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 very proud and outspoken to be a Rangers fan. You mentioned that when you were younger, it was all about football before it was about muscle. Was it all about Rangers when it was about football?
Yeah, so this is a weird thing. My dad and stuff were kind of Celtic, I think, fans and stuff. I don't really know much about my family's history when I was younger, but it was my big brother who led the way of the Rangers fans, actually. When I was born, he was probably 10, 11 years old. So it was maybe 3 or 4 years old. He put me into my first Rangers top, and then I just kept on getting older and older. And when I started then, going to like nursery and primary school, that's all I had on was the Rangers tops. Luke would be in a Rangers top. It would just, I say my family of Celtic fans, none of them really were into football. They were more rugby side. But yeah, so that was quite nice because I kind of could choose what, who I wanted to support. I didn't have that kind of, I just didn't get it like thingied on me. I had the choice. I was open. I wanted to follow Rangers myself. I didn't just get right. My dad just said, like, you're a Rangers fan. They put this on. So yeah, Luke helped me be. Luke followed Rangers. And he just kind of put a Rangers football top on to me. Obviously, I didn't know what it was. I was like, this is what's this colour? I was only a young boy, and then
Blue.
Yeah. That's what I actually learned. They learned me blue by having a top on, or like blue, 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 and then Luke would say no green, or something. I remember he said that. So, it's always been like football. It's always been Rangers. I love watching Fernando Eriksson. Like on YouTube, I watched Ali McCoy's. I like watching Michael Moore, Ronald De Boer, all them legends I used to watch when I was growing up, and they were just the people that were like, wow, this is how you should play football. They were exciting to watch. The old firms were exciting. The fans were electric. It was unbelievable.
Mate, exactly. And there's loads of videos of you, videos of you in and around Ibrox, bulging out of your Rangers shirt. Fans coming up to you. I think you're with your partner, because you're definitely with a girl. Yeah. And fans are coming up to you, taking pictures. Isn't it weird, right? When someone takes a picture, they come up to you, they ask for a picture, they take it, and then that's it. They'll never speak to you again. They don't even stop and try and talk to you. It's just a case of, right, cheers, mate. Next person comes along. What's up with that? I saw 2 people have come up to you and have done that instead of just talking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of it's part and parcel of the kind of sport we're in it. There's also, because I think I'm so tall as well, and like you said, I'm bursting out of a Rangers top, even though it's like 4 or 5 XL. It's like you see someone big, you're like, what the heck? That's not human. So yeah, I always get that. I always just get a hi. Can I get a selfie, big man? And then boom.
What's it like getting on an airplane?
Yeah, that's very, very, very hard. The thing is, I don't have a choice, but I have to upgrade myself. I don't fit in the economy seats. I don't fit in them physically, so it's either buy 2 of them seats or upgrade into it. So I'm expensive no matter what. But yeah, the thing that struggles the most is the legroom. The legroom's a killer, and wow, I can't fit the seatbelt on either. I need to get a booster seatbelt. Oh, it's a nightmare. I wish you could just drive to other countries, but it's a nightmare. It's the worst feeling in the world, man.
Have you received any contact from Rangers Football Club whatsoever about the past week and a half?
Yeah, so to be fair, for your Rangers, I've stuck to the word. Last year when I came second, they said, if you win the title, we're going to do a lot of stuff for you. They back it up. They've been unbelievable. Obviously they've supported me through this. They tweeted me when I won. They messaged me when I won. And I know a lot of guys directly to the club through the gym before they worked there. I was really good friends with somebody that works for them now. I actually was his PT, so I had kind of contacts before it. But yeah, they were all over the moon. They said to me, I'm going to go down to the training centre, meet the players, take my trophy down, put the SPL trophy next to it. So like it'll be like a bit of fun, just for them to see that trophy, me to see theirs, and then there's going to be a lot of things in the pipeline. You know, you can't really say much with COVID and stuff, and you know, we have to get COVID out the way first and see what happens. But hopefully, on the first day of the season, I'll be walking out with them as well. And I mean, I know, like, I don't fanboy, but that's stuff I do fanboy over, because Rangers are my boyhood club. I've followed them through thick and thin, you know, from the third division all the way back up to the top. And like, you know, it's so them to kind of turn around and say, look, Tom, we'll sort you out, we'll treat you good. It's like, what, you know, like when Nat Chernobyl first
100%.
when Nat Chernobyl followed me, like I don't, like I said, I don't ever fanboy. I don't ever really care like what kind of celebrities follow me. But I was in the car with my wife, and when Nat Chernobyl followed me, I was pulled over to the lay-by and screamed. I was like,
do you mind if we pass it on to him?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I talk to Nat Chernobyl now. Like, that's the thing. Like, you know, Nat Chernobyl. The thing is with Nat Chernobyl, he was my all-time kind of favorite player for a while, and I don't know. He followed me. I followed him, and then he started talking to me, and then he gave me his number, and it's like, I'm actually talking. Is this a real Nat Chernobyl that I'm? Or is this some fake call? You know, but like, it's just the mental opportunities of that, you know, and they're so passionate about, you know, I've met Paul Gascoigne at, you know, Sport Personality of the Year as well, and he kind of knew who I was, and I was like, you know who a Strongman, you know, it's Ali McCoist as well. He mentioned my name at the Euro comment when he was doing the Euro commentary a few days ago as well. So it's like, my name's on the tip of these legends' tongues, and you're like, it's mental. Like I just, you know, I love the club, and I'll do anything for them, and just to have that kind of recognition from these guys, it's unbelievable, you know. So,
are you joining Rangers for pre-season on trial? Slotting into defence?
Geez, I don't think I can run for a minute. Never mind. I'll be worth my
In fact, you do look a bit like a Scottish Philip Hollander. So
yes.
Yeah. Geez, I'll be like offside. I'll keep them on side all the time.
I say be careful if I were you. If you're going to be going to the Rangers training ground meeting the players, the size of you, mate, Alfredo Morelos might give you a square go.
Yeah, I know. Jeez.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. To be honest, it's thoroughly deserved. I'm not surprised in the slightest that Rangers reached out to you, so they bloody should. And the feeling that you got when Nat Chernobyl has followed you and then you start to speak to him, imagine the feeling that I got when the world's strongest man sent me his number. How's that for a contact list? If ever I'm having a bit of trouble up in Glasgow, I'll just hold up, stop, lads, no, put the knife down. Tom, get down here, mate.
It's funny, like it's funny. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I love doing things and giving back to people that, like, you know, do nice things, and that's what I said. You know, doing, like, talking to you guys. I talk to anyone that is genuine, you know, and kind of wants things to be, you know, just doesn't take things for like granted, and, you know, not kind of a dick and stuff. So yeah, I just love doing things for people that are like nice and give back. So it's a privilege, you know. And yeah, Rangers, like I said, massive part of my life, and it's a really nice and grateful feeling just to even have them mention me on like their social medias, you know. That's a massive thing for me as well, just to have, well done to the world's strongest man from the most successful team in the world. It's like, geez, you know. So
exactly. And if you are going to be seeing them next season, or the start of the next season, do we call it this season now? I guess we do.
I think 7 days. Is it not 7 days? We kick off our first pre-season game against Partick.
Boom. There we go. Who messaged me about that? Was that you, Blair?
Probably. No. I'm the only person that speaks to people, so.
Yeah. Regardless, it's not like you're going to, let's say, last season or season before that, where there was a lot of doubt about potentially the future of the team, a couple of the key players, the manager. We just won the league. You're going to the club at the peak of the excitement that you could possibly be going to. So it's all worked out perfectly for you, to be honest, Tom. You did good.
Yeah, 100%. I think it was written in the stars. They waited till I won the world's strongest man, and then they got 55. So we did it together. We were always on the phone.
What's your favourite Rangers goal or moment?
This is when it always goes up. There's Nat Chernobyl when he came onto a sub in the cup, turned on the chest and volleyed it in. I mean, I go wrong.
I was there.
I was
there.
It was a super sub. I mean, I always go on about that. You know, it always comes out on my Facebook, and that's the one. Yeah, that I was watching on TV. I was like, yeah, that's unbelievable. You know, so
such a satisfying goal when it like dips in just
before
the bar.
Dips, yeah.
Funny story about that.
20 seconds.
My family were there. My dad was there. I was just a young kid at the time. long story short, Chris Boyd has come off at half time, and I'm beside myself, upset because it's Chris Boyd, one of our best players, right, ever. I'm still so young, so naive. Nacho Novo comes on, and I remember throwing, and he just like the ball's been thrown, and I've turned around and said to my dad, "Dad, can I have a drink?" Dad turns around to the bag and starts to get a drink out of the bag. I turn back to the football just as Nacho turns around, right foot, bang, straight over the keeper's head. There's a massive cheer, and Dad turns around. I'll never forget. He just goes, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
Yeah, that was
missed it.
I love that goal, man. It was just it still gives me goosebumps when I watch it. The noise as well, man. It was unbelievable.
Were you there as well?
No, I wasn't there, but I'm just saying, like I was even on TV, but like it had to be Nacho Novo of all people, you know. That's
Exactly. What was it, about 2.5 minutes that he did that?
Yeah.
I might be wrong. My memory might be failing me, but yeah, it was beautiful.
Was that his final season as a Ranger, or was that like this? Did he? Can't remember if he left after that.
It might have been that season or the season after. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have been that, because I seem to remember, what year did he leave? Because I remember he was playing for Sporting Gijon in Spain in 2010-11, I think. I think that one would have been 2008 from memory. 8, 9.
Yeah, you're right. Nah, you're right.
Yeah.
He left in 2010, and I guess you're right, that would have been the 2009 season, I think. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, 2009, he came off. That was the 2000 Scottish Cup final. And then the following year, in May, he moved to Sporting Gijon. So,
there we go. Weird team for him to move to as well. I'll never forget that team name. Tom, just a couple more about Rangers. Steven Gerrard, how do you feel he's doing, and how long do you think they'll be able to keep him for?
Yeah, he's doing great. I mean, he's like me. He had a 3-year plan. You know, he was came to Rangers, got used to the club, started every season improving, and in the 3rd year, boom, wins the league by a landslide. Exactly what I did at World's Strongest Man. Yeah, Steven's unbelievable. You know, he's a football legend. I mean, I was cautious at first because obviously, you know, just because you're good at football doesn't mean you're going to have a good side of the management. You know, a lot of top players have failed that kind of side of things. But I think the best thing he's done is come to Rangers when they were down and kind of restructured them himself, got used to all the players, you know, got them kind of comfy with him, how he works, took some stuff, backroom stuff, and got new players in. And I mean, look at them now. I mean, Steven Gerrard's done a job that I don't think anybody. I think people thought he was going to win the league, but not by 25 points. That's just unbelievable doing that, you know, and being so dominant. And I mean, yeah, the 2 cup runs could have gone better, but apart from that, it's been a season that you can't you can't argue with. You know, he did the job. It was to stop the 10, and he did that, and he did it in style. And yeah, hats off to him, because I thought maybe it was going to be a helicopter Sunday kind of thing, but you know, 25 points is an unbelievable. No, it doesn't matter what team you're in. That's an unbelievable kind of turnaround in 3 years, you know.
Exactly. And you mentioned earlier, you basically touched on that your family were more leaning into rugby, but they may have like some sort of Celtic connection. And my family, my cousins, love them dearly, but they are massive Celtic fans. Despite them too having English accents, it seems that if you support one of the clubs, you can't really escape having family members on the other side, you know, on the Ebert side, right? Another one about Rangers prediction for next season. I assume you're going to say that we're going to win, because we are. 56 is coming. Do you predict it to be the same landslide? Do you think Celtic are going to catch up?
Obviously 56 is going to happen, but I think it will be. I think I've watched a lot of kind of Gerrard talking, and you know, the way the club are right now, they're still in a buzz. Gerrard's such a professional, the way he comes across as well, and that's what you need. You know, you need someone not just in the season, but you know, with the pre-season, you need it to be. He has to be the leader of it, and I think he's doing that very well. We'll soon find out the first game of pre-season how they're looking, but right now I think it'll be another 20+ point league this year. You know, we're going up at the right time, and they're falling. So, like Dave King said, when we win one, they'll fold like a pack of cards. And to be honest, I think it's going to be another landslide. You know, we've got. I mean, every single player we've got right now is playing with confidence, and it's amazing to see. You know, we've got, like when Tav went out, we had Nathan Patterson, who was unbelievable. You know, Tav's unbelievable. Kent, Morales, everyone, Kamara, everyone's playing with like passion. And I think if they keep that up from the first game, then they're going to be so hard to beat.
Tom, you've been wicked. You've replied within, I think, probably the longest I've had to wait for a reply from you is 5 minutes, if that. Insane. Dude, thank you so much.
It's fine. Thank you for having me on, and take care.
Tom, you're a hero. Keep in touch, mate. Take care.
Until you find your way back home.